Granddad, what do you do when you can't do nothing, but there's nothing you can do?
You do what you can.
What I see today is that everything's possible in this world for those who don't quit on themselves or their dreams. I've learned to reach higher and higher with our dreams, to become more ridiculous with our dreams, because they're all possible.
You know, they told him when he was done. He didn't decide. I don't want what happened to Doc to happen to me.
But that hasn't happened.
No, but I can't go out on the track and do the same old thing. It won't work.
Then change it up. Try something new.
I don't know, Sally,
Don't fear failure. Be afraid of not having the chance. You have the chance. Doc didn't. And you can either take it, or you can do what you've been doing, sitting in here for months.
The consistency of work. Monday, get better. Tuesday, get better. Wednesday, get better, right? And you do that over a period of time, you know, not like 1 month or 2 months. I mean, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And then you can get to where you want to go.
There are more possible games of chess than there are atoms in the universe. No one could possibly predict them all, even you. Which means that that first move can be terrifying. It's the furthest point from the end of the game. There's a virtually infinite sea of possibilities between you and the other side. But it also means that if you make a mistake, there's a nearly infinite amount of ways to fix it. So you should simply relax and play.
It's normal to not know what you're doing. If you did, it wouldn't be called growth. High-five your fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and carry on. Do you get tired, stressed, sad, hungry, frustrated, unfocused? Do you feel misunderstood? Great. You're human. You don't need medication.
Listen, man, you may have given up on yourself, but your friends haven't given up on you. Are you just gonna turn your back on them and sit and eat borscht the rest of your life? Or are you gonna get out there and jump through that tiny little hoop?
It is impossible.
It was always impossible, Vitaly. That's why the people loved it.
That is why I loved it. Because I did the impossible.
What worked to me is you gotta do something. You ever meet somebody and they don't do nothing? You ever meet somebody and they don't do nothing? They don't do nothing. They don't date, they don't do drugs, they don't play checkers, they don't do nothing. How long do you like those people for? You don't. I like people with a little bit of edge to them. They gotta do something. If you tell me I don't like alcoholics, but I love heroin, I'm in. If you tell me you suck toes for breakfast, I'm in. You gotta do something.
I know my own destiny, Uncle.
Is it your own destiny? Or is it a destiny someone else has tried to force on you?
Stop it, Uncle. I have to do this.
I'm begging you, Prince Zuko. It's time for you to look inward and begin asking yourself the big questions. Who are you? And what do you want?
If you can learn a lesson when you make the mistake and not make the mistake twice, and you're gritty enough to not quit, you have what it takes to succeed, but it's going to take time, and it's going to be hard, and you're not going to live the same life as all of your friends and all of your family, and they're not going to understand it, and they're going to criticize you, and they're going to laugh at you, and they're going to make jokes about it, because that's not the path that they are on. They're going to talk to you about things like balance. So it's very difficult in the beginning for a young person to go down the path, because once they step into that path, they meet resistance from literally everywhere they go. They're meeting resistance from their friends, their family. They're getting made fun of on the internet. They're being asked, like, are you sure? Are you sure? And they're being told, don't forget where you came from, man. Don't forget to be humble. You know, you're getting a little too materialistic. You know, you're getting a little greedy there.
To live life, you need problems.
That's so stupid.
If you get everything you want the minute you want it, what's the point of living?
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.
Who you trying to keep out? Just tell me that, Shrek. Who?
Everyone, okay?
Hey, what's your problem, Shrek? What you got against the whole world anyway, huh?
Look, I'm not the one with the problem, okay? It's the world that seems to have a problem with me. People take one look at me and go, ah, help, run! A big, stupid, ugly ogre. They judge me before they even know me. That's why I'm better off alone.
Never say you can't do it. Say, I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. And that's true with everything. It's like, there's nothing that you can't do. You may not have done it yet. We don't know if you can do it or not until you really practice. And then you find out if you can do it or not, or how well you can do it.
Yeah.
Rise, young warrior. You must get up. Your journey is not over.
I can't fight him. He has all my weapons. I have nothing.
When you began your journey, you were determined. Nothing could stop you. And now that you are so close, are you willing to give up so easily?
It was easier at the beginning.
Beginnings are often easier. But think of all that you have accomplished along your journey, what you have learned from your battles with the bear, the snake, the monkey.
What's the point of fighting my way up the mountain when someone else is just going to come up the easy way?
There is always going to be someone who does things the easy way. But that should not stop you from doing things the right way. It is your journey, young warrior. Only you decide when it ends.
Take care of yourself. Train hard. Become extremely successful. Stay off the streets. Stay out the clubs. Don't go down any of that mess. You're at the height of your energetic powers, and it should all be focused in the correct direction. You'll be glad you used it correctly when you're older.
You gotta put your past behind you. Look, kid, bad things happen, and you can't do anything about it, right?
Right.
Wrong! When the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on the world.
The stress is okay to feel in adversity. It's where the stress leads you that you need to avoid. You need to prevent the stress from being strong enough to make you avoid adversity in the first place. If you start to feel stress about adversity, I think diving right into it is like the secret for growth.
For me, I was more miserable trying to make everyone else happy than I am now with everyone else unhappy with me. And so I think like from the social group that I had before I quit my job, if we're going all the way like ground zero to today, I talked to no one from that time in my life compared to today. And I was absolutely miserable and unhappy and unfulfilled. And I would say that the majority of those people probably don't like me today because I changed. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. He thinks he's so fancy now, et cetera, et cetera. And I think I'm just okay with that. And so I think coming to terms with the idea that I could be absolutely rejected by everyone I know, but like me, I was more okay with that because the alternative was I didn't want to live anymore. And so obviously there's degrees and there's continuums and there's stages of where people are at with that. But as that being the taken to its logical extreme, would I rather live for them than live for me? I would rather be hated by everyone and like myself.
I know my own destiny, Uncle.
Is it your own destiny? Or is it a destiny someone else has tried to force on you?
Stop it, Uncle. I have to do this.
I'm begging you, Prince Zuko. It's time for you to look inward and begin asking yourself the big questions. Who are you? And what do you want?
People wasn't really with you, they was part-time. People switch up when it's wartime. I'd rather have people who are really with me and not people who are just trying to use me.
The best way to contend with problems, with issues, with adversity is action, is by taking action. The more you sit and the more you wait and the more time you spend with that adversity, with the upper hand inside your head, the worse it's gonna get. Taking action, making something happen. It doesn't have to be huge, but if you say, hey, listen, this is what happened, didn't go the way we wanted it to, we're gonna get our gear back on, we're gonna go back out. And it's in your personal life too. You know, something doesn't go the way you wanted it to go, you didn't get the job you wanted, you didn't get the hire, you didn't get the promotion, you can go home and sit there and dwell on it. That's not getting you any progress. Or you say, okay, you know what? Let me do a quick analysis. Why didn't I get that promotion? What do I need? Let me look into how do I get to jump through that gate so next time I will get the promotion, and you start taking action.
I've had many movies go in the toilet. I've lost bodybuilding competitions and powerlifting competitions and all that stuff. So I had plenty of failures. It's always important to bring that up because people should know that you never will be able to go through life without failures. Failures make us learn. Failures make you stronger. Pain makes you stronger. So I think all of that is good.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Think about every poor decision you've made in your life. There was more emotion that was involved in it than there was mind. Every single one of them. Think about it. Really was. Your feelings keep you in bed. Your mind tells you, get up. Every single day, your mind is one that tells you, get up. And your feelings like, an extra 30 minutes, just roll this, don't worry about it. And your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Listen, it's not the popular decision. You are gonna hurt, you are gonna piss a lot of people off.
Yep.
All right? Are you gonna piss them off for the short term, or are you gonna piss them off for the long term?
If you can get a mental image of the person you would most like to become, begin now to act as that person would act in everything you do. Gradually, imperceptibly, you will actually become that person. It goes back to what the great German poet and philosopher Goethe once said. Before you can do something, you must first be something. Before you can do what you would most like to do, you must first become the person who can do it. A woman cooking dinner has only to act like a great chef to turn out a better meal. The student who begins to act like a top student will begin to get better grades. You can even look much better by simply acting like the person you would most like to look like and be like.
I hate negative people. If you're negative, you gotta get away from me. And there are people that come negative, pause, because that's just what they've been raised, but they're skilled, and it hasn't worked out because of that. It's just like you just lead with negative first. You know, if the first thing, if I have an idea, the first thing you want to talk about is the problems with it, then we got an issue. There's a time to talk about problems, but not while I'm dreaming.
You will beat him because you are the Dragon Warrior.
Ow! You don't believe that. Oh! You never believed that. From the first moment I got here, you've been trying to get rid of me.
Yeah, I was. But now I ask you to trust in your master as I have come to trust in mine.
You're not my master. And I'm not the Dragon Warrior.
Then why didn't you quit? You knew I was trying to get rid of you, yet you stayed.
Yeah, I stayed. I stayed because every time you threw a brick at my head or said I smelled, it hurt. But it could never hurt more than it did every day of my life just being me. I stayed because I thought if anyone could change me, could make me not me, it was you. The greatest kung fu teacher in all of China.
If a person would sit down and let their body relax, totally relax, and then start to visualize in their mind, see themselves the way they want to see themselves, see how you'd like to live your life, see yourself living it that way. Now understand that that's a picture in your mind. When you pick up a book, the book is nothing but a picture that an author has painted in words. Take that picture and describe it, write it out in the present tense. I am so happy now that I see myself, and write it out. But write out a description of how you'd like to see yourself. Start to read it, and read it, and read it, and read it every day. Carry it around and keep reading it. The one point that all the great teachers, all down through history, have all agreed on, they've been in complete unanimous agreement on it, we become what we think about. Now, it may be fantasy at first, it might even appear to us as being a lie, but if you read it often enough, you'll start to believe it.
A friend of mine said, "Are you sad?" And when I really thought about it, I started to look at life like it was a video game. I'm like, yo, every part of it is really lit. Right. The things that hurt you, the things that you're happy about, the things that push your ego, that support your ego, the things that down your ego. Like, I've been saying this like for a couple weeks, like ego and anger love to hang out, they best friends.
Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. And do not worry that your life is turning upside down or not going the way that you want it to. How do you know that the side you are used to is better than the one that's to come?
How did you find peace? I took away your parents. Everything. I scarred you for life.
See, that's the thing, Shen. Scars heal.
No, they don't. Wounds heal.
Oh yeah, what do scars do? They fade, I guess?
I don't care what scars do.
You should, Shen. You gotta let go of that stuff from the past, because it just doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you choose to be now.
The human mind can only really grow through resistance. You can only strengthen your character and become a really strong person inside if you have resistance. If you fail, if you get up again, and if you work hard, and if you work your ass off, and if you struggle, the more you struggle, the further you're gonna go, and the stronger you're going to get. So this is just the way the rule works. Anyone that tries to baby themselves and pamper themselves and trying to protect themselves, oh, I don't want to feel bad, or I don't really want to go through any discomfort, it's over. You're never going to get there. That's just the way it is. I mean, you have to be able to struggle, and if you're not able to, work on that. Work on that you're learning how to accept pain, misery, and discomfort, all of the things that you don't like, because the more you experience the things that you really don't like, the more you can grow, and the tougher you get, and the more you can handle.